Okay, welcome to lesson 2 in our Regex for Excel course. So this one's going to be all about quantifiers, but I would like to recap what we've learned so far before we fully get into it. So last time in lesson 1 we learned about character classes. So that was \d meaning any digit, \D meaning anything that's not a digit, i.e. a letter or a symbol. We also covered \W, which is upper and lowercase alphabet, all digits and an underscore. Capital W is anything that's not that, S was white space, B was word boundary, and capital X was grapheme cluster, anything you see on your screen. We also covered how to designate ranges of characters, so we could have A to Z, and that has to be in square brackets. And to negate that, instead of using capitals, we use a caret. So caret negates it, so anything that's not lowercase a to Z. And we can put multiple ranges in here, like uppercase A to uppercase Z. And we can also put 0 to 5, for example. But we cannot put 0 to kind of 50. So this is saying we want one of a lowercase a to Z, one of an uppercase a to Z, or one of the numbers 0 to 5, or a 0. You can only ever have these ranges as one character, one dash, one character. So this can also be used for stuff like A, E, I, O, U to pull out any one of these vowels, and so on. Or we could have A to F plus any other vowels, A, E, I, O, U. We could write it like that. Obviously some of this A to F will capture some of the other things here, but it doesn't really matter. But that's how the square brackets work. So with the knowledge from lesson 1, I just want to go into a couple of examples before we come into this quantifiers section. So the first example is this. We have a kind of database here of driving infractions, and we have a license plate. We're told that an old model has this format of license plate and a new model has, 3 numbers, 4 letters, 3 numbers. So let's try and write those in regex. So we have 4 letters, so we can use uppercase D to say a non-number. And then we have an asterisk. And an asterisk is actually a special character in Excel which we're going to cover in this video, but for now we're going to put a dot. So a dot represents anything, so it could represent that asterisk. And then we have 5 numbers, so that's \lowercase d 5 times. The newer license plate is 3 numbers, 3 non-numbers, 4 non-numbers, sorry, and then 3 numbers again. So there's our 2 patterns. So let's just pull them into our other tab, and then we should be able to pull out old model and new models. So if we say REGEXTEST, we want to test this license plate for this old pattern here. And you see we get some trues here for all of the ones that have an asterisk in the middle. Those are the old license plate format. And then let's test for the new pattern. So we can say REGEXTEST this license plate for this pattern. And in this case, because there's only 2 patterns, it's always just going to be the opposite of what we had before. But if we had multiple kind of types of patterns here, then it wouldn't be. So yeah, we've figured out how to determine if a license plate is for the old type or the new type. We're also told later on in this kind of challenge that a lowercase letter for the driver means they're underage, and an uppercase means they are not. So let's just copy those values to get rid of this for a second. And let's say underage. So again, we can say REGEXTEST from here, and the pattern we want. So when we write the pattern in the formula like this, we need it in quotation marks because Excel is expecting some text there. So we can say A to Z and in lowercase and in square brackets. Let's close our quotation marks, and that will tell us if the driver is underage or not. So here we have a lowercase, we're underage, these are uppercase, so they're not underage. And then one more example before we get into quantifiers, and this is the magic of regex being in Excel. I'm going to introduce 2 functions here that are Excel functions, but that now have a regex option. So this is a challenge where each symbol had a specific value associated to it, but there's a different value for an uppercase B and a lowercase b, and the same for uppercase A and lowercase a may have different values. And the challenge was to add up the values of all of these symbols. So in a normal world, we would kind of Xlookup these things in here in the symbol and return the value. That would give us all of the values. However, in something like this, we have an uppercase and a lowercase b, which are both pulling out at value 2. And the reason that is because Xlookup is not case sensitive, so it's finding this uppercase b and giving us 2 for both. However, we now have this magic regex match mode here, which will change the second 2 to a 1, because regex is case sensitive. So we have that argument in Xlookup, and we also have that argument in Xmatch. So if I was to say Xmatch, so i.e. find where the symbol appears in the list, instead of this argument, we just want to do REGEXMatch. So this is now going to tell us the position of where these symbols are in the list. So you can see these Bs are in different positions. One's in position 6, which is here, and one is in position 10, which is here. And the Xlookup can take any pattern as well. So let's say Xlookup, and then we want a square brackets A to Z, so i.e. any lowercase letter. We want to look for that in here, for example, and return here. So we're pulling out the age of the first underage driver. Let's turn regex match mode on, like so, and you'll see we get 17. So it scans down here, finds the regex match, and gives us 17. And what's really useful is we can also pull out all matches with the filter formula. So REGEXTEST and most of the regex formulas are array friendly. So I want to test all of this for a pattern that is A to Z. This is lowercase. And you'll see we get all of the trues and falses that match here where we did it individually. And filter in Excel just uses a list of trues and falses. So I can say filter all of these ages for that regex test, and there we go, we get all of the lowercase driver ages out. So regex, extremely powerful. Those examples are stuff you should already be able to do just with the tools that were provided to you in the first lesson. Now let's get into quantifiers. So with this kind of pattern here, this is a very ugly way to write it. What we really want to do is say that we want 4 non-digits and then 5 digits. So we can change the pattern to specify digits by putting them in curly brackets. So curly brackets 4, we'll say we want 4 non-digits, and then lowercase d, we want 5 of those, so lowercase d, open curly brackets, 5. So that is the first way to specify how many of something you want. So let's close these, we're done with the examples, and let's come into our cheat sheet, and I'm going to run through what all of the quantifiers mean, and then perhaps we'll show some more examples. So the main 3 that you really need to know are these and this, I suppose. If you can remember those, the rest are kind of follow-ons to those. So let's start with the plus. So plus means 1 or more. So if I say hello, if I say REGEXTRACT, from here I want \w, so any character, then it's just going to give me the first one, H. If I say all matches, I'm going to get an array where it splits down the letters. If I say W+, it means find 1 or more of that thing. So I get hello out. If I was to say find 1 or more of just an L, I could put L as an exact match with a plus, and I get 1 or more, so I get hello. If I only had, if I had hello, I'd get it split out like this. So I'm looking for 1 or more of. An asterisk means 0 or more of. So let's take this example. I've just written in here 3 invoices, and the first one has no spaces between the colon and the invoice, the second one has a few spaces, and the third one has a load of spaces. So the asterisk gives us 0 or more of. So let's write our pattern, and to make this more interesting, let's just change the number of digits here, like so. Okay, so let's say our pattern is going to be invoice, a colon, and then it's going to be 0 or more spaces. So we can do that by doing \s for white space, and we can add an asterisk, so it means 0 or more white space. And then we have a number of digits, which is \d, and it could be 1 or more, so we need a plus there. So now we're using the asterisk and the plus. So that's our pattern. If we say REGEXTRACT, from here, this pattern, give us all matches, and I've made an error myself, so this I is actually capital in the text. Let's just put it as a lowercase I. There's 2 ways to fix this. The first is to turn on case insensitivity. The second is if I come up here, and this is probably a bit more interesting, I'm going to put 1 lowercase and 1 uppercase. So let's now say our pattern is going to be either, and we can use square brackets for this, a lowercase I or an uppercase I, and we'll close our square brackets. So it's starting to involve all of the things we've learned now. So now we get all of them out, and let's just 2-col them so they're easier to see. So we've extracted this pattern from our text, and it has varying amount of spaces, varying amount of digits, sometimes a lowercase I, sometimes an uppercase I. Okay, next up we have the question mark. Now the question mark is a very kind of special character in regex. It's used to flag many things. You'll see in later lessons, and I'll just give you a sneak preview now, The question mark is used to turn on flags, it's used for look around, it's used for capture groups. So yeah, it's used for many things, but just by itself, it means 0 or more of. And this works a bit like an optional or kind of argument. So a good example is Rubik's Cube notation. So on a Rubik's Cube, we have right, left, front, back, up, down. Those are the names of the faces. And if you turn them, the notation is like R, U, F would be turn the right face, then the upper face, then the front face. But you might also have R2, which means turn it twice, or you might have R apostrophe, which means turn it the opposite way. So if you had a Rubik's Cube algorithm that was like R2, F, and then you had L prime, it's called, an apostrophe, F2, U, B prime, for example. If you needed to split that down into its individual moves, you could do a pattern like this. We have one of, right, front, back, up, left, down, and then we have an optional apostrophe or a 2. So if we put in square brackets apostrophe 2, those are our options, and we put a question mark after it, it means that those are optional. So now let's say REGEXTRACT. From here, this pattern all matches. You see we get our notation broken down nicely. And this sort of thing is extremely difficult with just Excel formulas. So if you were to do this kind of an old school way, you might try and do something like text split your string on all of these things, and then you'd start to get out the apostrophes, you'd try and text split it, it just wouldn't work. But with regex, it's when you know the syntax, it's extremely easy. So those are the main ones, plus, one or more of, asterisk, 0 or more of, question mark is an optional, so 0 or 1 of. These two are special, so we'll come to those in a minute. Those are called lazy quantifiers. And then in brackets, so in curly brackets, we can specify exact amounts, 4. But just like where we had square brackets and we could specify not only A to Z, but like A to M instead, we could say 4 to 10. And then that's saying 4 to 10 of. So let's just go to regex 101 for a minute, and let's say bar, let's make some sheep noises here. So I could say that I want a B, A, curly brackets 2, would give us only 2 A's. I could say 2 to 5, and it's a comma. So yeah, regex is tricky. So in the square brackets, A to Z uses a dash for the range. In the curly brackets for quantifiers, it uses a comma. We could also have 2 or more of, so that would capture all of them except this one that only has 1. If we had 5 or more of, 6 or more of, you know, you get the idea. So yeah, these are not very hard to remember. Now, let's talk about these ones with the question mark on the end. So as I said before, question mark is kind of a very special type of character. It does lots of things in regex. If you put a question mark after a plus or an asterisk, it means match 1 or more of, or 0 or more of, but only up to the first match. So I'm going to give you an example here. Let's say we have HTML tags. So they look like this. It's kind of these things in these triangular brackets. If we want to say something like this, our pattern is a triangular bracket, dot, so any character, and 1 or more of, and then closing triangular bracket, angled bracket, we're just going to get the whole string out. So what it's doing, if I zoom in here, it's finding this in the pattern, then a dot is any character, and then a plus is 1 or more of. So we're finding any character, 1 or more of, but this triangular bracket also counts as any character. So that's included in the dot, so it will keep going and going and going until the final closing bracket that it finds. If we put a question mark after it, it's called lazy matching. So what that does is it stops at the first instance of the next specified character. So it kind of matches as minimal as possible. So in that case, you get this array out of all of the HTML tags. So that's lazy matching, and you can also put a question mark after these curly braces to turn kind of lazy mode on. Now, there is one other type of quantifier, but this is where we get into more advanced territory, and that is called possessive quantifiers. So where we had a question mark after, we can also put a plus after as well. So we get plus plus, asterisk plus, and question mark plus. And this is going to be a hard one to explain, especially if you're a beginner. The way the regex engine works, it kind of backtracks. So it will take a letter, move to the next one, move to the next one, move to the next one, and once it fails its pattern, it will move back, it will backtrack and test from the next kind of letter onwards, essentially. And that can be really inefficient if you have a failed match. So you're going to do all of that work to find something that's not there anyway. Possessive will just stop when it fails instantly and not backtrack and try again. And with these possessive kind of qualities, you can also denote it with brackets, and that's called an atomic group. So again, this is getting a bit advanced, so don't worry if you don't understand. If you type open bracket, question mark, and then this greater than symbol, anything you type in the brackets, it counts as possessive. And this is called an atomic group. And what that means is it won't backtrack. So there's an example down here. So if we have the word cuter, and we have this, and this pipe means or, we haven't come to that yet, but we will in the next lesson, and we could have cut or cute and then an R, well, we would match that under a normal pattern. So if we look for that, it's going to say CUT, yes, it's there, and then it's going to check the R, so it's going to find cut, and then it's going to look for R and say, no, that does not match this pattern. Then it's going to come back into the group, and it's going to find CUTE, and then R, and it's going to say, okay, that's a match, it works. With possessive mode, or inside an atomic group, which kind of activates that, it's going to find CUT, which is a match, and then it's going to come out of the group and look for the R. Well, the next letter is an E, not an R, so it fails. And because this is a possessive or atomic group, it's not going to go back inside the brackets. It's failed, it doesn't backtrack. So it just kind of turns off and on backtracking. You can see here we get a failure for that result. Don't worry if you didn't understand that. Regex is complicated and there's a lot to learn. So now that we have quantifiers and character classes, let's do one more example that I showed in the last video, and we're going to expand on it now. So we had these cell addresses that we said were 2 letters, then 2 digits. So we can say REGEXTRACT from this pattern. And let's get all matches, and we get these out. So we get kind of these cell addresses. But these are always 2 letters and 2 numbers. What if we had something like this, where we have A, B, C, 73? So we have variable numbers and letters. So now let's write our pattern again, but with the tool of quantifiers. So now we have 1 or more non-digit, and then 1 or more digit. So that's our pattern, and we can say REGEXTRACT from this text, this pattern, all matches, and we get all of these variable kind of cell address lengths. And that is quantifiers. This sheet is in the description of the video if you want it. Next time we're going to talk about special characters, so that's like that dot and so on that we looked at before. And I think if you watch any videos in this series, it should be up to that 3rd one. So we'll have covered character classes, quantifiers, and special characters. That will give you more tools than most people will have. After that, it will be the more advanced stuff like lookarounds and recursion and stuff like that.